apply these principles in life, they are better for you. If you look at a plane, its shape is by design, not accidental, isn't it? Yes. Because they land, for you to fly and work with the gravity, you have to be in a particular shape and behave in a particular way. Are we together? Yes. So the shape is deliberate. You find the nose is well smooth in front. There are flaps which keep on flapping here and there. The few other aerodynamics which facilitate what? A lift. When they are violated, what happens? The plane comes down. Gravity is just watching. Are you together? So ladies and gentlemen, there are principles in life. We can't change them. We can only do what? Obey them. Identify them. The principles in academics, there are principles in real life experiences. The earlier you learn them, you work with them, they will support you. Are we together? Yes. Okay? So how many of us are changing their thoughts? Huh? How many of us are changing our thoughts? On which behalf are you changing? Okay? All of us? All of us are changing? Okay? So very quickly here, before you go for break, one more item before you go for your break, to talk about the human factor here. I have a picture here of a butterfly. And a what? Which of the two is lovely? The butterfly. It's even sung in songs, romantics, beautiful. Somebody says I fly like a butterfly. Eh? Songs of romance about what? But nobody thinks about a caterpillar one. Eh? When you see a caterpillar here, you run away. You see a butterfly, you are happy. But do you know that every caterpillar is a potential butterfly? Yes. Are you together? Yes. Correct. So, we could be in a caterpillar stage which is very ugly, but we've got transformed to become a what? A butterfly. Correct. So you can never fly until you go through a process of what? Transformation. Which is about a paradigm shift, the way you think, your values, your perspective, and your attitude. You go through that process, then you can easily graduate from being a caterpillar to butterfly. But do you know how many caterpillars there are caterpillars? Many. Here they are potential what? Butterfly. Correct. So, very quickly, I want to show you a very simple example called conditioning. Called what? Conditioning. Conditioning is a very, very interesting perspective because it binds us. It does what? Binds us. Conditioning, remember we are all born great, capable and able. All of us from nobody here. We are all capable and able. But we get conditioned by our environment. It's called environmental what? Conditioning. Our circumstances, the things we watch, the things we see, the things we hear, define us. Are you together? Yeah. We have brothers from West Africa and sisters from West Africa. There is a way they look at life because of their what? Conditioning. And there are guys from East Africa here. There is a way you look at life because of your what? But inside we are all the what? The same. But we have been shaped by our what? Our circumstances that define our approach to issues, our paradigm, our attitude, our values. These are all external forces that shape the way we look at issues. And I know some of you, as you travel out of this country and go to other parts of the world, you are going to be reshaped again. Are we together? You may acquire new values, new perspectives, and new attitudes because of your experience again. Okay? Now, that's not a bad thing because as human beings, you're supposed to be dynamic and programmable. The challenge is you can be conditioned for worse. You can be conditioned for what? For worse. For worse. So you have to be conscious. Is the conditioning I'm going through positive or negative? Now, where I come from, we have a very beautiful bird, which is, we love it so much until we eat it. We do what? Our love is so strong that we can only do what? It's called what? Chicken. It's called what? It's called ingoho. Chicken. Chicken is the biggest prize in my culture. If someone has done a very good job, you give him a chicken. You pass your grades, you are given a chicken. Are you together? You are expected, you go for a function, you are given a what? And you must do what? Eat it. So we love chickens. They are very beautiful birds. We have them for dinner, breakfast, and lunch. Now, chickens, Even today when I go to see my mother, after all is done, she will give me a chicken to come back to Nairobi. And there's a way chickens are carried. The way they are what?
Carried.
You must tie the legs properly, okay, and put it where? This is the right place for the what? You carry the chicken, you put it here. Alright? You're having your luggage here, but your kitchen is where? Chicken is where? So if you end up attacked, you don't put it down. You put it where?
There.
There, so that it's safe. No, it's cold. When you get to Nairobi, from where we come from, it's kind of a distance. By the time you get to Nairobi, it's almost 6 hours, between 6 and 7 hours. So you land in your where you stay, you release the legs of the chicken. What happens? It doesn't move. It doesn't do what? It doesn't move an inch. You remove the thread, you untie it, it remains woolly and confined to the location for hours until you do what? Pick it. It has been freed but doesn't know. Now, my question is, remember there's 8 hours of conditioning has made the chicken believe I can't walk again. How much more in your case? Some of you now are behaving like that, what? Because of the village you come from, you've been limited, you've been confined, now you're being put on a pedestal. And chances are, you may be behaving like a what? You still remain like this. The way you talk, you cannot talk because you think you are still a what? You're not a chicken. We always say, in Zawadi, we told the girls in Zawadi, that you are a what? You are an ego. You are what?
An ego.
Yeah, what are the qualities of an ego? Flies highest. In fact, flies higher than some small planes. When you have some small planes, which cannot go above a certain can fly above certain small planes. Those one-seater. Okay? Flies very what? Very high. Now another quality?
In case of a storm, ego will use it as its help to...
Beautiful. It is one of the few birds that transforms tragedy into opportunity. Right together? When the storm comes, as opposed to opposing and fighting, it just relaxes. And it glides gently on the what? On the storm. Beautiful quality. What else?
Strong eyesight.
Strong eyesight. Has a very powerful focus. It can see almost miles ahead. It can see a target from above the sky and to come precisely for the same target accurately, pick it up. Okay? That kind of focus. Anything else? About an yes, ma'am.
It tests before trusting.
It tests before trusting. By the way, if you look about, go to Google, the website and to the internet and Google about the ego. It only has one mate for life. One mate for what? So it's better than some human beings. Okay? Gets one mate for life. And before the mate is decided, he must be proven or tested before commitment is done. Okay? Alright. Anything else about an ego? Yes, ma'am.
It is flesh meat, not rotten.
Fresh meat, not, it's not a scavenger like a hyena. A hyena just takes leftovers, isn't it? It pioneers, starts, and gets fresh. What else? What an ego? Yes, Imelda?
It
Protects. Now, there's one thing about an ego I want to remember. Research has it that an ego, when it has eaglets in the nest, it will take care of them for at least 3 or 4 months. But sometimes it gets fed up and said, enough is what? I've been feeding you guys in this house, I'm tired. What it does first is to make the nest uncomfortable. Are you together? So it removes all the what? All the cushions. Remove so that there are thorns in there. So the thorns become uncomfortable. Unfortunately, the eaglets can't get the message and mama is upset. So they still stick around. So if they can't move, you said, alright, I've destroyed the nest, you're refusing to move here. He picks them up and puts them on the what? On the wings. And flies somewhere high. They don't have some height to release it. It just shakes them off. And the poor fellas struggle. But it's watching carefully. When they see they're failing, she comes again and does what? the excuse, and the kid says, wow, that was a gross one. Okay? And flies again. And then for some time, does what? He does that twice. The first time, you're on your own. Whoever doesn't learn to fly is what? Correct. Human beings are not here like that because they keep on spoiling people and babying them all along. Now, the key thing about the ego, okay? I have a picture here about the ego which I'm going to look at. Eh? This ego, we have an ego here. What's wrong with this ego of ours here? What's wrong with this picture? It is done what? Correct. So all those powerful qualities we shared about the ego are of no value. You know why? It is in what? So a caged ego is as useless as a chicken, isn't it? Not a kitchen. It's a chicken, isn't it? Alright? So this cage here had undermined the whole potential the ego has. Metaphorically speaking, all of us here are what? Egos with ability and capacity to fly. Are we together? But we have a mental what? A mental cage. Because of conditioning. Remember conditioning? The things you've watched over time, the beliefs you've acquired from your community, which are limiting, the experiences have now formed into your mind, and you are beginning to underestimate what you are. And as long as you subscribe those beliefs, the ego in you won't do what? Won't do what? Flight is only possible until you break the what? The cage. And so metaphorically speaking, as you go to college, you need to fire up your imaginations. Are you together? Yeah. You need to expand your mental what? Horizons. You need to begin seeing what? Possibilities. So that the innate potential that is latent within you can become what? Manifest. But that can't happen until you go through a mental what? Paradigm. A mental what? Paradigm. Now, this is my last statement. When you want to upgrade a laptop, you get a disk with software and you do what? Plug it in and it loads. The only way you can upgrade your software is the books you read, the movies you see. Are you together? Yeah. And the things you learn. Every time you're reading a book, you're upgrading your what? Your software. Alright? A good book. You watch a good movie, you are loading what? Files. If you don't read books, ladies and gentlemen, written by good authors, prominent authors that have been able to pass on nuggets of wisdom, your growth is going to be limited. It's going to be what? Limited. Read holistically. Read large. Look for resources that will, on top of your academic excellence, also look for things on life skills, strategies that will help you to begin effectively get along life. It will be practically impossible to be effective if you don't upload as much information as you can in your mind. Are you together? Sam ego.
I'm an ego.
What the student is about, why you will be chosen,